stand in place. It's... Excuse me a second while you all join me. I'm just sorting myself out. I'll unplug that for a minute. And hello there. You're not early. I'm late. It's normally 1 o'clock, but I did send a message out saying, sorry, I'm going to be a bit late. I got waylaid by phone calls. Just coming up to 1 o'clock. Typical, eh? I'm going to put some more of this Dcypher foundation on while we're waiting. And as you can see, I've got this lovely top. And I'm really loving it. Really, really love it. It's so colourful. Really love it. I got it from Zara. And I thought I'd do a little look combining some of the colours. So let's just put this foundation on because it is very, very good. I've ordered the full size of it now. So just to give me a bit of a break from my La Prairie, which I do love. But this is such a good match. So if you don't know what I'm talking about, I did a video the other day about Dcypher. And I've updated the code because there's a refer a friend code, which if you use that, I believe, but do check that you get, hello Tria, that you get £10 off. Hello there, Emma. I'm covering myself with foundation. I'm going a bit nuts, but that's because my pigmentation's going a bit nuts at the moment. I believe, hello. Where is everyone? They probably think that I've abandoned them because I'm late. Some people may not have got the message. Yeah, with this Dcypher foundation, I said that you could get £5 off. Now, I believe that you can actually get £10 off with a refer a friend code, which also means that I get £10 off my next order. But do check it out. I'm not sure. I think you get £10 off as well as me. If that doesn't work, then use the £5 off code that I gave you. But try my refer a friend one first if you're buying this foundation, which I'm very impressed with. It wears very well. It's a perfect match. And it's exact coverage and finish that I asked for. And I looked at the video. Hello there. Hello, Loz Dunn. Hello, let's see, who else have I? Hello, Rebecca. You can only see your own messages. Don't worry, they're catching up now. I want to come and check out some of Rebecca's videos after this. Although I'm a bit skint this month. We've had a month of birthdays. So I'm definitely trying. And I've already bought foundation and some clothes. So I'm trying to go easy on the makeup. You're saving for your lunch. Jack's birthday was fine. We actually went out for a change. Can you imagine? First time we went out. Since he said, I want to go out for a meal, Mum. So we all went out for a meal. It was completely nuts, though. You had to scan in with an app and do everything on your phone. And everything, like all the condiments were in sachets. Very different to how it was before. Hello, Gaynor. Oh, Gaynor, thank you for waiting up. And I'm late as well, which makes it even later for you. So I really appreciate it. So, yeah, if you haven't seen my Dcypher foundation video, go check it out. Because I am very, very impressed with the match. And it really does take the guesswork out of your foundation. So I thought, because I've got my new very colourful top on that I love. I did ask my sister before I ordered it, is it mutton dressed as lamb? But, you know, it's just me. This is me. That's me. Colourful Al. I love it. And it's got bits of green in as well. So I thought I'd do a bit of a look, trying to incorporate a few of the colours. I hope I don't mess it up because I didn't have much sleep last night. So if I start going word blind and stuff, do forgive me. Let me put a bit of my concealer on. Yes, thank you. Do you know what my mum, what I said in my Instagram post, my mum used to crochet, my late mum. And she crocheted dresses and everything. But it was back in the day when they weren't seen as very fashionable at all. So she crocheted these beautiful dresses and I wouldn't be seen dead in them. And now, of course, I'd love one. I think I kept hold of one somewhere, but it's probably packed up. So I'm just putting on a bit of La Prairie concealer. And I shall put on a little bit of powder. And then we'll get going with this look. And I thought I'd use the Natasha Denona Sunset palette. Is it Sunset or Sunrise? Sunrise. Because it's got pinks and it's got oranges in it. And I thought we'd kind of incorporate a bit of my top. And a really groovy lipstick that I bought last year. That Rebecca helped me choose. You've probably forgotten Rebecca, but you did. Right, what are we talking about? I don't mind if you're taking a work call. Oh, and you've had your vaccine, have you? Oh, thank you, Gaynor. You're always happy to join if you're still awake. I just feel guilty that I'm half an hour late because I know that makes it even later for you. So apologies for that. You know how it is. You don't get a call and then all of a sudden you get calls asking you to do things. And the rest of the day you're sitting around with not a lot to do. Do you know what? Emma, it's the one bit of needlework that I never mastered. I did a lot of needlework when I was in hospital as a child. I did knitting, I did macrame, I did patchwork. You name it, I did it. Weaving, embroidery, tapestry. But the one thing I could never get the hang of was crochet. I could do the first line, but I could never work out how to link up the next line. So basically I could just do a long crocheted belt and that would be about it. But this top was from Zara. There's a lot of crocheted tops in Zara at the moment, if you're interested. And they've actually got this in a dress, but I thought that was going too far. So this is, I don't know if you can, let me just move this. So it sort of, it says it was cropped, but actually for me, it's just the right length. And these trousers I got last year from Marks and Spencer's. And I got a yellow pair as well. So I know it will go with that. And I also got a pair of jade green leggings last year. So I knew it would go with so many things that I already own. So it was a smart shop. And it feels like it's time for bright colours. So I just put a bit of my La Prairie powder to set my foundation. You forgot what day it was. Don't you worry. I'm late anyway, Stacey, so don't worry. I started late. And Jack is walking home now, and he's also got a detention. He got a detention because his foot was hurting. And I nearly went, when he started this story, I nearly thought, uh-oh, I'm going to have to go up to school. His foot was hurting, and you know he had a problem with his foot, and he had surgery. So his foot was hurting, and he sat out of PE. The problem is that he didn't tell the PE teacher that at the beginning of the class. He told her at the end, and for that he got a detention. And I said, Jack, if you told her at the beginning, I need to sit out, miss, because of my foot, and she'd given you a detention, I'd back you up. But you can't just sit there and then not tell her until the end. So he's got to sit the detention. I think that's fair enough. I don't know why she didn't ask him why he was sitting out, but he should have actually gone up to her at the beginning. So I kind of supported her in that decision. I don't think it's good for parents to always challenge teachers' decisions. I will if they're completely out of order. And if she'd given him a detention for asking to sit out the beginning, I would definitely have challenged it. The only thing is these patches look horrible. Right, I'm going to use the Sunrise palette, which is this one, because I thought it's sort of got this nice ochre orange in there, and it's got the pinks. So it sort of picks out a few colours that are in this top. It is, isn't it? And you know what? I haven't used it enough. I haven't used it enough, so it's a good chance to bring it out. I'm going to put a bit of Colour Chameleon on, though. Colour Chameleon? Yes, Colour Chameleon. Just to help it stick, because I find sometimes with Natasha's palettes, and I think from memory this one, I found it to be a little bit on the dry side. And so I just want to add a bit of moisture by putting a bit of a Colour Chameleon on. And I shall use Copper Lights. That should work quite well. So these are really good. As you know, they're very good to use as a... Oh, haven't got my chunky charger here. The only thing about this is because I'm short, these keep falling down. And I'm going to have to work out where the seam is and see if I can shorten the straps. So this is Copper Lights. So I'm just using this as a primer, because this palette is a little bit on the dry side, and this will just help the shadows to stick. I've actually seen MAC, by the way, are bringing out a palette in a couple of days' time, which I'm tempted to get. But I'll have a look at it first, which has got some quite bright colours in it. But I've also noticed, looking at the MAC website today, is that they brought out a lot of new interesting colours in their Pro paint pots, Pro Longwear paint pots. So check them out. You know, before they were all quite neutral colours, but they've got a green and they've got a purple, and I've got hair tickling my nose from something. Right, so I'm going to do something like, I'm going to be a bit on the boldish side. I'm just going to improvise. I'm going to try this this always reminds me this kind of colour. It's a kind of orangey yellow. Always reminds me of the 60s. Stuff that people had in the 60s. I wasn't around in the 60s. I was born in the spring of 1970. But the colour always reminds me of 60s clothing. I know I'm terrible for wanting to completely match things. Actually, that looks more orange than... this looked more yellow. But when you put it on, it looks more orange. I might brighten that up in a minute with a bit of yellow in the middle. Looks a lot darker than in the pan. Right, what are you all chatting about, ladies? Ah, yes, tell us what you got. It is about balancing between teachers and kids, yeah. I don't want Jack to think that I'm going to challenge every decision. And as soon as he said that he sat out of PE because of his foot, and I know that the teacher knows about his foot, I was all about to march up there until he explained that he didn't tell her until the end of the lesson. And I think that's fair enough. And I don't want her to mollycoddle him because of it either. So, yes, if he's in pain, he should be able to sit out, but he should explain himself at the beginning of the lesson. So I'm putting this glory pink at the end. It's looking quite... I'm going to brighten it up in a minute, but this one here, because I've got pink in this top as well. Look. So I'm picking out the colours in the top to do a kind of really... I'm in a creative mood today. Hopefully it won't look too dark by the time I've finished. Oh, sorry. Sorry about that. I keep knocking my camera. Yes, I like that pink. The pink and orange. I think pink and orange is such a lovely combination. But don't worry, it's not going to look this dark for too long. I'm going to start brightening it up in a minute. I just want to get these colours down first. I'm going to take that up into the socket as well. See, this is what I mean. It sort of gets a bit dry and stuck. So I find it's not the easiest palette to work with. Definitely Charlotte's formula is easier. I really want to intensify the pink in this outer corner. Now, at the moment, I probably look like I've been given 2 black eyes. I'm excited by this look. I just want a little smudge brush. I'm going to use a liner brush, actually. And I'm going to take some of that pink underneath. Yeah, Charlotte's are very good for layering as well. They're sort of designed to layer. But don't forget, as long as you're not trying out something when you're due to go out, you can always take it off. If you mess it up, you can always take it off. Okay, now I want to brighten it up because it's making my eyes look a bit too dark. So just with my finger, I'm going to take this yellow, which is called citrine, to lighten up the centre of my lids first. And then I might put a shimmery one over the top of that. Yeah, there we go. So it's really going to look sunsetty by the time I've finished. So they've got the Lisa Eldridge blush, and they've got the Pat McGrath one now as well, haven't they? So what do you ladies think? Because I haven't got either at the moment. Lisa Eldridge or Pat McGrath? If you had to choose between the two. I'm just using my fingers at the moment too. Is it? The Pat McGrath is really good. Nothing like fingers. I've missed a bit out here. Just right. Now, I'm going to put a bit of shimmer over the top of that. I'm going to use this one called Agate, which is the lightest shimmer shade. And again, I'm just going to use my fingers to dab it on. Oh, I've got a nice clump of it there. It's not really making it look very shimmery, is it? Never mind. Big clump of it went there, but that's all right actually, because what I want to do is start putting this in the corner as well. I love using my fingers for looks like this because you can really blend in well. And then I'm going to put that, of course, under the brow bone to start bringing it all together. There are so many releases, it's overwhelming. And when you're trying to rein in the spending a bit, you just look and think, you know what, I can't decide, so I'm not going to get any of it. That's how I feel at the moment. Unless something grabs my attention, like that foundation. Because I really wanted to see, does this help you to match your foundation? Anything that makes life easier as well. That's why I like a lot of Fenty stuff, because she thinks about the packaging as well. Now I'm going to take a bit of that yellow, the bright yellow. I told you this is a bit of a crazy creative look today. But I'm going to lighten it up a bit more in a minute with some highlighter. Right, and now to completely contrast a little bit, I'm just going to try this out. I've got a green eyeliner, but I might revert to black. We shall see. This is Fenty. Now, I quite like that because it does contrast with it. It doesn't really scream green, but it shows up enough green to contrast a little bit. Except it feels like it's dried out a bit, this. Come on. warm up. This eyeliner is dried up a lot. I do love these Fenty eyeliners, but they really do dry up quite quickly. I'm having to really swipe quite hard. Ah, that's better. That's shown up a bit better on that side. Because it's warmer. It's warmed up a bit. Let's go back and do this side. Now, what I should have done is got this gold eyeliner that I got in my cohorted box, which I still haven't shown you guys, but it's not around at the moment, so I'm going to use my white one just to really brighten up my eyes. And some mascara. Let's look at your comments. Okay, you're talking about SPF. La Roche-Posay is good. I think you just mentioned that one. Also, Ultrasun. They do one for sensitive skin. I tell you one that I've been using a lot recently. Now, I don't know how good it is for sensitive skin, because I don't really get sensitivity to SPF that much, but it doesn't make my eyes water, is one by Nivea, which was an anti-dark brown spot. I'm not sure that it's been that effective at preventing brown spots, to be honest, but it doesn't leave a white cast, and it's very affordable. It's called Nivea SPF 50 Anti-Dark Spot. It's quite a new one out. Nivea does have a little bit of that Nivea scent to it, though. But it doesn't smell of sunscreen. Ah, is it at... Oh, do you know what? I'm so behind. Yes, I will be trying to get it. I didn't realise it was out. See, you're letting me know. What an awful YouTuber I am. I didn't even know it was out yet. Haven't checked my emails. of course, have to get... Okay, I have to get CT, don't I? Just has to happen. I shall order it when I come off here. It brought your neck out in a rash, the Nivea. Oh dear. The other thing is that Rebecca always says if she keeps her SPF too long, it's all right for the first couple of months, but after that it brings her out in a rash. Now I'm going to put something highlighter in the middle of my eyes in a minute, because that's what it's missing. It needs that pop in the center of my eyes, and that one wasn't working. But at the moment, that's what it's looking like. I know it's a very matte look, but it won't be soon. Okay. Now, for the highlighter, this might get a bit messy, but I dug this out because I haven't used it for ages. It's Anastasia Beverley Hills Loose Highlighter. If she can get it out the box. Come on, box. I keep things in their box like that because then they don't go off as quickly. So it's a loose highlighter. So I'm going to put a little bit in the lid. I'm going to try it out first on my cheeks. It might be a bit too dark to show up. Oh no. Oh, nice. That should show up in the center of my lids. That's very nice. Good old Anastasia Beverley Hills. Look at that. Very pretty. Haven't used this for ages. This is a real summertime highlighter. It takes a bit of getting used to using a loose highlighter. But it's very pretty. Now that should make the center of my eyes pop. Yeah, there we go. That's what I wanted. Because of the shape of my eyes, I need that pop in the middle. And I'm going to put a little pop of that in here as well. I'm liking that. And I'm going to put some under my brow bone. Sunscreen used to bring you out in hideous rashes when I was little, and I think that's what's going on again. One, I had to sit in Tenerife for a week indoors with a blanket around my legs. Is this all types of sunscreen? Or mineral sunscreens, or... That's better. Because of my hoodedness, I need that pop in the centre of my eyes. Why does that side refuse to look as shimmery as the other? Come on. You really have to do this with your finger because it's loose. Okay, so that is my sunsetty look. I'm just going to go over again and just make sure all the colours are blended together. Now, I could play safe and use a dark pink lipstick, but you know what I'm like. I don't like playing safe. I like being inventive. So I do need a lip liner first. Let me get a lip liner out. Now I'm going to do the cheek colour last. Here we go. Right, so I have got a lovely orangey lipstick. Which is very like the Hermes one. Now this is actually more coral than orange, but it'll do for a lip liner. Hot Emily would look good, but it's not Hot Emily. It's Scorching Emily. I'm not going to fill that in because the lipstick, I don't want to make it pinker. So this by the way, is Lancome lip liner in Tangerine. And I'm going to use this lipstick that I got from Fenty Beauty last year, which is called, you wait for it, it's quite bold. It is called Saucy, SAW-C. Not saucy, but SAW-C. I know, I need to age gracefully, don't I? It's probably too much with the eyes. But I just love colour. I love it. But actually, I'm not sure now I'll put it on. It would probably look better if I kept my eyes less fussy. But it's too much with the eye look. But anyway, that is Saucy, which I will put on tomorrow with a bit more of a neutral eye look. That's the thing. It's like with me, it's sometimes more is more, and then I go over the top. Right, I'm going to take that off, and I'm going to add a bit of red or even a bit of pink to the lip. Let's see, let's mix it up. Let's see if we can make it a bit of an ombre pinky orangey thing. If not, I will take it off and start again. I'm just going over it a bit with Crazy in Love. Stomach rumbling. Doesn't like going over that lipstick. It's kind of starting to work, but I think I'm just going to abandon the lip. Unless, let's try one more thing before I give up. Let me just try one more thing. Just had a thought. Walk of No Shame Lip Jewel. I'll tone down the orange and make it more pinky. That's toned it down a bit. Now, the other thing I got, but I don't think I'm going to put this on now. Or am I? Is this blush. Let's try it. In for a penny, in for a pound. Actually, this is going to work, this blush. It's got a little bit of shimmer in it as well. But it's definitely a nice summery, peachy orangey blush. And this is Fenty Beauty's Cheeks Out in Fuego Flush. I haven't put on any bronzer yet. There you have it. Let's do my brows. I'm naughty. I should have brushed them up first. You didn't see that. Now I'll brush them up. There we have it. And I could just do, if I can find it around me, I'm sure I can find some bronzer around me. I could do with a little bit of bronzer. I'm just going to have to use the one from Charlotte's palette. This is the Glowing Beauty palette. But I need a bronzing brush. Bear with me a minute, ladies. I should have had all of this ready. I normally do. It's just the bronzing brush I'm missing. Come on, bronzing brush, where are you? This one will do. It's a bit tricky to get into that palette, but I love this brush. It's an It brush. And a tiny bit across the nose. And then down the chest. Right. Oh, what have I done there? Better. I'm being careful because I do not want bronzer on my new top. And then a bit of a spray of Charlotte's Airbrush Flawless. Oh, that's so lovely in the summer. And that is my pinky, orangey, can't see the green anymore. It's starting to look blue. But you get the idea. So I hope you've enjoyed this. I'm going to just look at some of your comments. I'm not sure the lip worked quite well enough. I think you're right to use red. I tried to use a dark pink, but it didn't kind of work. So that's kind of a work in progress. But it's kind of toned it down a little bit, hasn't it? So hope you all have a lovely day. I'm going to make myself something to eat because my stomach is going. And I promise you that I will be putting out my cohorted box very shortly. Don't forget to like the live and see you all very soon. Take care. Love you all. Mwah.